Hey, it's a madman again. We're looking to Mortal Online 2 a bit. I think I'm going to try some real basic crafting or learning skills. Basically, I'm going to start from the beginning on making a sword. There's a tutorial now that kind of starts this and does it. I got that in another video. And there's also tutors, I guess you'd call them. It'll teach you some basic skills right from the get-go, but that's not what we're going to do today. We're going to start from the scratch and try to do everything needed to make a sword, a basic sword. But we're going to start right here at the very beginning. Make as a character, human male. I'm going to go strictly tender. But let's start here. See, we got our attributes and stats. These are what you currently have. These are the maxes. But these maxes and stuff will change based on what your races and stuff. See how the numbers will change if I pick different. You have different choices. All of it will change. But that's for others to play with. You play with that yourself. For now we're just being real basic. Straight up tender. Human. Alright. So we do got our attributes. Age again will change what these are. The maxes will change by your age. Okay, now I'll leave that up to the players to do whatever and play and min-max, do whatever you want to get your skills. That's not really what we're going on here now. But I did just want to touch on how it works. If you don't skip this part, because you could wind up being a super slow character. And this gives you a heads up of 100 points right from the start. Otherwise, the game will let you just go here, put your name in, create, and it'll let you take off without these points, or at least it used to. So be sure to put your points in, because it could be the difference between a slow going character and one that can at least somewhat move around. And again, when you change these, you'll notice the strength goes up, and I believe stamina will go up with strength. See, so go up there. Same with dexterity. Dexterity will raise your stamina as well. So will constitution, but this will also raise health points. Then you got intelligence and psyche, which will, on these, will just pretty much raise your mana. From this point, they do more in the game, but that's all they're doing right now on these stats. So I'm not going to put anything in psych. It does the same mana. But they've made it where these three stats all give you dexterity, which should lead you not being as slow. But if you totally skip this step, then you could find yourself being pretty slow. So I'm just going to go ahead and put 50 in. Just to get things going. This character's career probably won't last very long. But I'll put the points in anyway, so we're not totally gimped. And I'm just going to go ahead and, seeing we are going to craft with this guy, I'll put 50 in intelligence too. That'll use up those points. Wait again, if you move this around, it'll make changes to all your different numbers. But again, we're just going straight up generic 100. Right now there's hardly no hairstyles. Same with beards, but we're just going the Robinson Crusoe type look, or whatever you want to say. Give them a name. I know standard names. And creating them, we should go to, should take us to Haven. I could probably cut this part out once we get to it. Alright, here we are. That went by pretty fast. We got a simple pop-up here. I kind of went through a lot of this in a different tutorial I went through, so we're just going to skip that stuff. It's not really what we're interested in right now. Now, I mentioned the crafting tutor. See, now if you were really playing the game and I wasn't showing you exactly how to go through this, to get a jump start on, say, weapon crafting, you could just click this, go through this conversation, and she's going to give you a small amount of skills that'll get you started in weapon crafting, and you won't have to buy the books, those particular books. So that, you know, it works for all those different crafting type styles. But at this point, I just wanted to show how you'd go about it from start to finish, and then to get the idea. So let's start by looking at the actual skills. Got action skills, which is not what we're worried about right now. We're going profession skills. Okay, we got weapon crafting, handle. So we're going to first need that to primary. That's what will take points. And then we're going to need handle crafting, because your weapon's got a handle, but that's secondary. That won't eat up points. And once we have handle crafting, we have to pick the kind of handle we want, which would be hilt, because that's a sword, so we can make a sword. Blade hilt crafting, again, it's a primary. And once we have that, then we should have the blade, or the hilt, and everything to go with the weapon, but you still need a blade. So then we would gonna need basic blade crafting, another primary, and then say we were making daggers, we'd pick that one. But we'll probably go with short blade crafting, which is secondary. So those are all the books we're gonna need. But as it is right now, we have no books, but we have a short sword blade. Now, in addition to those weapons, we also need to know certain skills for other parts of the weapon that you'll need to do too. So we have material lore. We'll need to learn that skill, and probably animal materials if we want to use parts of the animal like the skin, and etc. But we'll go through that as we start. So, how to get those skills if we're not asking the fair lady to give us free ones. Right back here. I don't know why the tutorial at the time doesn't even show you where the library is or how to buy a book. But here in the library you got multiple librarians. There's lots of them, lots of books. Crafting is going to be something we're going to be focusing on here. And I believe they're upstairs. Animal materials, material lore, animal materials is probably what we'll all need. Alright, so let's look here. See, we'll have, remember we said we needed crafting weapons. We need 10, which this is silver. There's gold, cuprum, and silver. We'll need 10 silver to buy this book. We have no money. So step one is finding us ways to get some money. And 10 silver is a pretty small amount of money, so we'll start from the quickest, easiest way to get that 10 silver and get a book going. There's a little garden growing over here. It's pretty well picked over right now. We'll grab a couple things. Oftentimes you'll come in here and this thing will be loaded down with all kinds of stuff. Right now we're a little short, but it's okay. We'll just grab a handful of things. And you see how easy it is to get 10 silver for a book. These few things I just picked, 4 silver. We'll take it. See, and if you were to come in here and have the garden full, it'd be a lot easier. There's other places to go. So let's continue on and see where else we can grab a little few coins. Most generally you can grab enough stuff right out of that garden to buy at least one book, probably more. Probably get 40 or silver or something just in a couple seconds, which is enough to buy 4 the start early books. Well, let's move on and see what we can do here. That's probably, I'd say, the quickest, easiest money for books right from the start. At least to get your first book reading. We should be able to find some flowers out here that can equal pretty decent money fast. I made a video on the way the deer were going at one point in time, but they seem to made them be a little bit better. Now they just kind of see and run, which is better than the madness that it used to be. I think it's a pretty big improvement. Let's see if I can find some flowers around here. Wolf bush, probably it's not going to do much, make much money. There's other things to find too. Guess I could have found some earlier. Pretty sure there's flowers just laying. Eventually they say that almost everything's going to be pickable. We're a long ways from that right now though. No luck. Yeah, that's making this seem real simple, huh? Here, flower. They usually stick out pretty good. Yeah, this could be slow this way, but there's still other options, but these I wanted to show as many options as I can. Of course, when I'm rushing, it's going to seem longer, but this isn't really how you have to do it. It's just if you do see them, here's some right here, or even close. So we'll just grab one of those flowers. See, there's a silver right there. Grab as many as we can. Try a couple spots, sometimes you can get twice. And what do we get there? It can't be silver or cup room. Yeah, that's silver. See, so that's enough for books right there. Here's a whole other set. Two flowers very close to each other. Alright, so back to the library. If you look around, I just probably ran by a few of them before and didn't see them. But that just goes to show how quick we can get some money for books. Even though I didn't find any direct, real close, I mean, it's still part of the game, could just be running around. Pick up what you see. Got the tutorials shining over there because I didn't do it. Let's get somewhere and sell these goodies. See, I'm not moving super fast or anything, but I'm moving better than I would have been if I would have started without putting those 100 points in. So all this stuff.
Let me show you.
Just hand him everything.
Deal.
49.
Welcome back anytime.
Yep, see, that's enough to buy some books. Basic books. Because they go all the way. You need 10 gold for some books and stuff, but just to get you started going, this is really all you need to be able to do. Now again, we're going to go to the crafting librarian. We want weapons. All we do is take that. Again, when you read a book, it'll put it right there. But see how this says, I can't train this book yet. As prerequisite, you need skill weapon crafting and level it to 0 before you can read this book. See, that's important. Blunt heads, we're going to go for blades. That costs 50 silver. We don't have that, so we'll get some more. But the idea is you can read this book without reading this whole book. Well, for now, we're just going to buy this book, which we did. We're going to read this book, and we're going to work on getting some more, and we're going to get the Crafting Blades book. But we also need handles. Here's shaft handles, and here's blade hilts. Again, can't train this because I'm missing your prerequisite skill handle and pole crafting. You need to know the skill weapon crafting and level it to 0 before you can read this book. Okay, and then we need, let's see what the other blade was. Crafting blades. Still 0, so that's good. Short blades, 0. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and buy the blade hilt as well. Now, even though this says can't train the skill because I don't have a prerequisite, well, this is a prereq. and it don't has to be to 0. So as soon as I read this book, I don't have to sit here and watch. I can read this book. It says it takes 99 hours, whatever. I don't have, now that I've done that, see what weapon crafting is to 5 now. Oh, I messed up. I grabbed the wrong one, didn't I? I need handle and pole crafting. I still got the money. I'm brain farting here. Again, I can. This book is fine now because I already started this book, so I can cancel this book. Start this book. Okay, now I started that book, so that gave me that skill. It's over 0, so this should go. Let me do it in a second. Oh shit, I did pull. I did pull. Why did I do that? This is confusing now. I'm gonna start this all over, huh? Handle and pole crafting. Yeah, it's just not letting me do it because I'd probably have to reset the start or something. But by all rights, it should. Maybe I'll cancel this one and start this one, which it did. Even though it said I couldn't, it did let me do it. See, so that's kind of a trick, I guess, to the whole thing is you don't have to wait for all those books to read. Now that this is reading, it'll advance the other one too. It's kind of a way to speed up the process. Alright, so now we're a little shy on gold. Hill crafting. Where's the blades? Short blade crafting. Alright, so crafting handles. Short blade heads. Basic blade crafting, didn't I already have that? I did skip it. Basic blade. Oh yeah, that's right, I needed the 50 silver. Dope. Alright, so we're moving on. We got the, let me get out of here. The flowers, the garden stuff. Now we're gonna move on again. I'll check the garden just in case other stuff's screwed here. See, we got quite a bit more growing again. It goes pretty fast. If no one's picked it, then you can usually get quite a bit. Picking fruit and veggies. Alright, grabbed a bunch of stuff. Haven't killed a zombie one. 4 and we need 50, huh? Let's just throw this stuff in the bank. Keep stuff in the bank, that way if you, even though it doesn't matter here in Haven, it's a good practice because in the regular game, anything you're carrying is at risk. So bank often, and that way when you do die, which you will, you're not losing everything. Lots of new players, you hear a lot of people saying, oh, I lost everything. I've been playing for 4 hours or whatever and I lost everything I had. That's a hard lesson to learn. So bank, especially early in the game when you don't have nothing, can't afford to lose it, keep it put up. Bank often. If we see flowers while we're running around, we'll grab them because that's quick, pretty quick money. And then note the location they are so you can get back to them easy. Here's some here. Starter books, once you got some flowers that you can make a little round and go grab them, then you'll be able to get your starter books pretty easy. See, we've read through a few books already, and it hasn't took much time, and we haven't really had to kill a thing or anything. Flowers right there, 28. See, I could buy that. I could buy that other sword book right now. I don't think you can get much money out of this. I'll just grab a couple just because. Alright, so we got some pigs. We use the sword that the game started us with. We're just gonna whack us a pig. We dropped us some loot. We got a bunch of pig carcasses. We don't want to be able to move around with them. Can't. So we're just going to go right to butchering them. Alright. So you note that we got all these different materials. And at the same time it's going to give me some skill gains. Or new skills that I learned, and it's going to gain on them. And we will actually use some of these materials, be able to use some of these materials in our weapon construction. Our basic ones. So this is pretty much making us not have to read books on these things, because I'm gaining a bunch of skills. See these animal materials now, skin lore. This is stuff that I'll be able to use. Leather. All this I just now learned from butchering the pig. And it's stuff that I can use for my weapon crafting as well. So I'm shortening how long it takes to do to get to where I can make a weapon. Granted, it won't be a great weapon. But it'll be a weapon. It probably won't even be as good. It won't be as good as the one I got right here, because I'm going to make pretty much a weapon out of the bone from this pig. You can't expect a bone weapon to be as good as this metal weapon that I have. Same if I would have made a wood weapon like they teach you in the tutorial and stuff like that. You can't expect a wood weapon to be better than a metal weapon, even especially when you don't even have skills yet to even make the weapon a decent weapon. See, now note too that I also am getting money from these as well. I can sell these to the vendors and get money for books. So killing the pigs is kind of a win-win. I then went a little too far and went overweight, but I'm just going to toss these bones. And we should be able to move again a little better. So even though there's lots of skills and stuff that, and you got books to read for all the different skills, you don't necessarily have to read all the books or read them all the way through. That's just a way to speed up the process, not an end all. You have to read the book. You can get skill by doing many things just by doing them in game. You learn the skill and get experience at it. But when you read a book, even when you log off and everything, you can still get skill gains. Some books have to be read. I don't know if these vendors no. Some books have to be read. Oh, here we go. Sorry about this slow movement. I would toss that meat, but I was going to sell it. For some book money. So yeah, it's like people sometimes had the misunderstanding and think that you have to read and keep reading and start from scratch and read books, but you don't. A lot of times you could buy a book just to learn the skill, and that's all it takes. It's done. I mean, it's going to go up over time when you use the skill, but that's it. And then certain books and stuff will have a prereq of higher, like 25 or 50 or whatever, so you will have to get a skill up that high before it actually works. But a lot of the skills only need you to actually have the skill, and that's it. And then you'll be able to read the other book, so you don't have to sit there and spend hours and hours reading a million books. Alright, we just drug her about here for that. We don't need either one of those to make a weapon. So could have sold that too. Alright, so now we got 98. Let's go get that book we couldn't afford. Take the long way, I guess. Back to the library. Crafting librarian. Alright, we need crafting basic blades. Let's go ahead and start that. Oh, I still got a book reading. We don't need that no more. Read that. Head back to the bank. Slowly but surely. Want this book. Put that money up for now. Still got 82. Alright, we had a bit of a hiccup there, but looks like we got things going again. Not reading the book. Crafting short blade heads. Can do that now. See how much materials we got. We're gonna go kill another pig just because. Here's a bunch of veggies again. We needed more money for coins. Again, we haven't had to kill a single zombie, even go to the graveyard. The idea that you have to go to the graveyard every time you need to do something, you gotta go to the graveyard or you gotta get a ton of money to buy books. I mean, yeah, you will spend a lot of time getting money for books and stuff, but it's kind of a one-time thing if you, well, once you got your skills. It's not endless, like some of the reviews say it's endless to the graveyard. If you don't want to go to the graveyard, you don't have to. This is all hidden too, so in the regular game you can once you leave into the get into the regular world, you could mine or do other stuff, and there's a market place, or well, I don't know what they call it, a market or not, but you basically can put stuff up for sale to other players. So that alone gives them other options to make money besides going and killing the undead over and over and over. But I mean, the undead are their own thing too. I mean, that's just an option for people that want to kill undead. There's heads and stuff that you get from them too. So they are definitely are a money source, but not the only one. Got some killing poor pigs. And I will grab a load of these vegetables again while we're here, real quick. None of it's super entertaining. I guess it could get repetitive too, but in just a short amount of time that I've been doing this video, we've got quite a few books, and we should have coins to buy quite a few more low-level books. So we don't need any more money, but if we were really playing, then we easily could. I'm just trying to demonstrate, I guess. So again, we can sell. I don't currently need meat. Not cooking or anything. There's 40 some more silver. And granted, you start needing gold, you're going to have to do something else to get money. But by then you should have some kind of skills that you could use to make money. And the undead's definitely an option for sure. Let's just go see what happens. And again, I know I mentioned it before, but we'd skip most of all this just by talking to her and say, hey, I want to build weapons. Make weapons. She's going to give a bunch of the books to be able to automatically start and build something. So we got swords, one-handed, heavy hilt. See if we can make in the bone weapon handle with a grip of leather. Straight blade. We just made it with that bone. So basically, the stuff we got from the pigs. And there we got it. Our first blade. I don't know how long this video is or how long it actually took me, but that's the process. And of course, this blade is junk. See, we got strength requirement 25 blunt, 6 piercing, 7 slashing for our generic metal blade. And then we made a bone blade. Damage blunt 1.92, strength requirement 34.49, piercing damage 10.82, slashing 10.96. So piercing and slashing is already better than that of the generic blade that we started with, and that's with no skills. I mean, I'm sure it did put some skills up because the skilling amount is fast right now. So let's see. Material over 100, weapon crafting 97, handle 70, blade 97. It went up pretty good. And their material ores are at 100. See, just from. But yeah, obviously that's not a good weapon or anything, but that's what a quick route to how to go about it. Now that we have those other, that we can already make a weapon and these daggers and everything, the skills I gave me the ability to make these daggers, handles, and these handles, and then these head blades. But if you get further skills, then you'd be adding, like, well, blunt is totally different. But see, advanced blade crafting and stuff like that, this will add different choices here is all. And then the other things would be materials. So animal materials is one thing, but then you got the metallurgy. So if you wanted to make metal-based weapons, iron or whatever, then you just, now you'd move on to learning these skills and getting these types of materials and learning their skill, but to use just like we did before. And you'll be making different types of weapons with different types of materials. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And everybody, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but well, we'll take ourselves to the graveyard, even though I've done it multiple times in different videos for different reasons. We'll even use our new weapon, our pig blade. And it's not even the best that it could be because my skills could be higher and everything. See, it's saying poor quality. So it's not even a good quality one because of my skills. But that's still about how you go about getting there without having to read a million books. Yeah. I mean, you read the books, but you don't have to wait. We didn't have to wait a million for all them books to read. It's not as hard as it, or time consuming as it might seem when you see that big list of skills that you have to learn or open up. Yeah, I'm wasting time here going to kill zombies, but it's one other way to make money. So one of the probably the main ways, not main, but a way that a lot of people use to get money, especially here on Haven, because it's harder to sell to other players without a vendor market, though you still could. Alright, let's stop dragging, lagging. Somebody's in there killing something. Look at all them dead bodies, or all that loot I could be picking up. And again, even this, when they leave these, this could be, like, see, I can pick that up. I can butcher that. See, and I get more stuff that could be used for the, but it didn't get, you know. Guess I gotta block him, huh? Wait for him to go whatever way. Block that same way. Swing. Yep. I'm not even. Yeah, I guess I could pick up heads because that's the whole idea. Heads, coins. And like I said, I get this too just because it gives me my butcher experience. And if you want, you can just delete this stuff to get rid of weight. Give them a whack. Wait to see what they're doing. Lock it. Need a quick swing afterwards. See, 2 or 3 hits. This new guy right out of Haven with a cheap ass wooden sword, or I mean a pig bone sword. It's going up. Stand. Left. Dead. Something's already attacking me though. I don't know where he's at. Might have been him making a noise. But anyway, that's that. I got, see, there's 60 silver from those. It's faster. It's another way. You get phones and everything you can sell too. Get a few coins, but it's still not super fast. I guess it's just funner, I guess, or maybe different way. And then be moving on to buying bigger books or whatever, learning different skills. Yeah, I didn't go over it a lot, but some of them skills, the books are secondary and primary, and only the primary skills use up your points. So I haven't used a whole lot of points really. But anyway, that's good for now. I'm gonna log off. Hope that at least helps some people. Thanks for listening.